Hello, this is Lincoln Emerson. We're on the Avernus map. This is Valenhos, if I'm saying that correctly, but you click over here on Avernus. We're right here in Valenhos, and I'm trying to remember exactly how you unlock it. I think you just open up your campaign window, which is right up here. Shortcut key is that little bracket, that right bracket. I think it's Descent into Avernus. You just click it and begin the campaign. I'm not that far in, as you can see, but I know this is changing pretty soon, but I wanted to go ahead and show it anyways. You do a few quests from these people who have, diamonds over their heads, and then you go up here. This is where you spawn, right at this campfire. So you do a few of those. It tells you where to go on the map. You can kind of avoid most of the enemies if you're not strong enough. But then you come up here, and it's either this one or this one. There's going to be a flying elephant in there. You want to go ahead and speak with that elephant, and that is going to allow you to go into the Avernus Wastes right here. If you're in the need to farm this equipment because you don't have better, you will not be able to fight the enemies here. I believe Makos is up here in the beginning. You get a mission from him. You come down here, right here, and there will be a little bird that's building these war machines. They're vehicles that you'll need. So you complete that, he'll tell you to gather some materials. So you'll come out here, and there are enemies that spawn all around here. I'm right here. They spawn all around here. So you have to be careful, but to avoid them, you just stay mounted usually, and this will be a spot where there'll be some the typical glow that you're used to seeing. So you basically have to search for it. There won't be glowing orbs taking you directly to it, but you'll find some. Anytime you see a busted down war machine like this, there'll be one. In this heap right here, there usually is one. So sometimes you can stay pretty close to them. As you can see, they're not aggro into me just yet, well, except now. Let's see if I can unaggro. And there's couriers like that walk around from time to time. I couldn't even kill them in the beginning. I tried to kill that one-on-one solo, and that thing would destroy me. But we lost aggro there. This will be another one that's guaranteed to have one. Sometimes it's right here. I don't want to test it right now. I'm just showing you a few of the spots to search, but kind of stay in between them like this, in between the enemies. Keep a sharp eye out. And this is another one you'll be able to collect some scrap from. Basically, you're collecting scrap metal. So find these piles of metal, find these busted down war machines, and you need 5 or 6 pieces, something like that. There may be some right here. And once you get that, you turn it back into that bird. That'll complete the quest, and you'll automatically be able to come out. So we spawned right up that ramp, and you'll basically come straight out to here. And let's see if I can get out. Not in combat, okay. So you'll spawn right outside automatically in your war machine, and it's going to give you a quest and make you do some stuff. So you can see down here there's a little menu bar. Pressing E turns on the Avernus radio. So you'll press your interactive key, or if you're on console, you'll press the corresponding key. My volume's pretty low on that. You can just press it again. And then you want to press Shift while you're driving. That's your boosters, basically. And it'll also give you like an obstacle course. I think it kind of goes left, if I remember right. And I'm sorry this is so informal. I wanted to do this building up a new character, but with the battle changes and how long it takes to level up and everything, I just want to get the video out for the next couple of weeks before it's too late to collect the gear. Just follow the obstacle course, press the corresponding keys so you can do your sprint and everything, and I'll show you where to farm the maps, the treasure maps. So there's nothing out here that's going to hurt you. This is the Wandering Emporium. They're just AI that circle around the map. They sort of just make a big loop. This is the main area where you'll be farming the maps. You will not have to fight any enemies. and you find these little roving mains, they call them. But I'll show you all the spots that I use, and I'll show you my technique on how I farm a lot of maps really fast. Oh, I also forgot to mention that once you complete the obstacle course, it's going to make you come here to the Wandering Emporium way station. You'll come in here, talk to a handful of people in here, and just do the first couple of missions you need to. Once you're done, that's when you can leave and start farming. Again, sorry this is so rough. So when you first start out, it will take a little bit, especially if there's not a lot of people in your instance. You can just open up your mini-map and check that. Right now it says Avernus 10 if I hover over this. So I left-click that. It'll also show right here where you are. There's only 2 people in my instance, which I prefer. So you can always move instance. But you just have to find these guys roving around. Many times they're in packs of 3, but if it's been a while, you got to kind of round them up and knock one out at a time, like this. Just keep searching for them. Alright, I found, and look, I just got a treasure map. Here's another loose one. I just found the rest of the loose mains. It takes a bit of driving around. It'll be unfamiliar at first. Just drive around. It's not that big of an area. And you will find these loose mains walking around. If you find them in a pack, in a 3-pack, then good for you. But if they're loose like this, there are some that spawn solo, but you want to look for the 3-packs. So the 3-packs are right down here. They spawn like right here. And because it's not that big of an area, just drive around until you recognize it, and then right here is the 3-pack. This is the loop that I like doing when I'm farming these, because it's random drop. There's also a loose one that wanders here that spawns right over there or right over there, but he always wanders this way. Same thing with this guy. He spawns over that way somewhere. Forget exactly where. But I just got another map, and this is way faster than just camping a spot. If you don't want to go through the hassle, you can literally just do that. Reverse, back up, and farm them that way. But I found this to be by far the most effective way, because you get 6 every lap, up to 8 when you get the loose ones. So it's like every other circle, those loose ones wander close enough. And you do want to be mindful. You want to, it's like that was a solo one that I missed on the last loop. I thought I might have, that's why I brought it up. But all you got to do is just tap them barely. But you want to make sure you get all 3, otherwise they won't respawn. That's why you have to round them up and find all the loose mains before you can start doing this technique. But if you already see somebody out there, you know, say I'm just camping this spot like this, it's easier just to jump to another instance, press M, and just find another one, scroll down and click on one that has 0, 1, 2, and you're sure to find one where someone isn't actively farming yet, and you can kind of lock that desert area down with your war machine. So I'd say it's been about 5 or 6 minutes since I've been farming this. Solid, once I got things set up. Let's count our maps real quick. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. The trick with these mains is they usually have the same general pathing. They have a couple of directions they'll choose, but this loop is so easy because that one that just spawned right there, he always comes in this direction. Always. And these 3 always come down. That's why I like doing it in this counterclockwise position, because I can kind of take a wide loop here, and they'll always be coming towards me. So even if I come out here and get a loose guy like this, I can still make my way back in and know that I'm, you know, we're coming towards each other. The mains are walking towards me. And this guy seems to always go around this way. That other loose main comes around this way and sort of hugs this tight. So if you miss him the first time, just keep an eye out for him. So this is the easiest place to farm these at this quantity. You can see somebody's watching me out there, checking out what I'm doing. Maybe he'll learn from me.
Bruh.
If you are setting all this up and you've got this loop locked down, try to make it one and done so that you don't have to repeat this. It would suck if you got 20 to 30 maps and you went and dug everything up and you ended up finding 6 helms and some armor and such, but the only thing you were missing were pants and boots or something. And you cannot sell this, by the way. You can't trade this on the auction house. It binds to you on pickup. It binds to your account on pickup, I believe. So you can use this for other characters. If you put in the work and set it up, I'll show you how many maps I've gotten in 20 minutes. Right after finishing this loop, because I still want to be as efficient as I can if I want to continue. Let's count. 2, 6, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 24, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 27, and I counted all 10 locations there. So we have all 10 locations to show you, and we have 27 maps in 20 minutes. Because you're resetting it so often that your odds are skyrocketing versus just resetting 3 at a time. You're resetting 6 to 8 per lap. So here's the other spot where they spawn. You've got an entrance to a little location right there. If I press my mini map, that's the Gray Knuckle Outpost. But you see 3 main spawn. This is an easier way to get it. If you're munching on something and you're watching YouTube videos, this is something you can sort of do if the instance is slow enough. But you do want to stay active with it because somebody can come by and swoop them away from you. I came back here to where you spawn right when you come out the gate from the ramp, when you first get your war machine, just to give you a reference point. So we're going to come down here and hang a right. We're going to come all the way down here. I'm going to hit the sprint button real quick. Right here, you'll see this little pile of bones right here. This is where those other 3 spawn. They've wandered off, but they spawn right here. This is going to be the first location where you find one of the treasures. So we'll press tab to get out of our war machine. There's 3 in this location right here, where you were farming the maps. There's 3 here. And again, there's nothing that's going to hurt you. You can see the glow right here. So you just interact with it, and a treasure chest will come up. Sometimes you have to wiggle around a bit to make sure you can get the chest, but if it sinks back down, you don't waste the chest. If you have multiple ones, you can continue digging in there, and then when you're done with it, one of my spots was taken away, and I no longer have the glow, so we know we can move on to the next location. Location number 2. From here, you want to just stay on the outskirts. You'll have the entrance to that little place there. We'll go there after we get these 3. We want to do each section at a time. So just follow this road all the way down. And instead of following that wandering Emporium, come up this way. And there it is right there. I only had 1 there. Our 3rd spot, we're going to follow this down. Come around this loop. And right here, you'll notice there's that pile of bones there. But right here is your 3rd one. So your first one when you come in is going to be right here. You're going to follow that road down. Your second one will be right around here. And then you'll follow that road to right here. So we've got all three we got all three chests in this location. Let's move on up here. We'll kind of just go from the entranceway, do this one, we'll do this one, and then we'll do this one last. So we've got these three locations checked off our box. Now we're just going to follow this back around. And instead of hanging a right and going that way to where this first one was, might as well, we're going to go in here. So once you spawn in, you've got the campfire right here, like always buffing my stats if possible. These are all enemies, so you have to be careful. That guy in the vehicle is also an enemy. These old war machines are not. So you can stay close to these, but you want to come straight out here. This is a good place to meet up with friends. If you're showing somebody this run real quick, enemies never spawn around this whole area here. But from the gate, you come straight out here, and do be mindful of this guy. These riders will do a little loop around here. So just be patient and wait for him. That dirt path he's going on, we're going to follow him down that, but we're going to give him enough space so he doesn't aggro to us. Just always keep a sharp eye out. Make sure you're not close enough to anything to aggro it. Alright. So you come down this dirt path, stay tight to this rock on the right, and then hop up on this little flat rock right here. This is another little point you can stop and check things out at. He'll never come down this path. He always does that loop up there. So this is another little place that you can stop and check out before we go get our loot. So I'm going to try and hug this so to not aggro this guy, because I could try to go up here and go around the long way, but we're going to go this way instead. See, if you're quick enough, they won't aggro to you. And right here, from where that rock was, here's this other chest. So from here, for reference, that rock we left was right here. We've got our first treasure. So now, you can choose your angle. You can either go around this way or around this way. I found this to be the easiest, but you have to be pretty quick because you don't want to bump into this root. You have to pay attention to that root. So we're going to come around, kind of jump, follow this path around, and then we're going to jump onto here so we avoid these guys and those guys. Okay. And there is a courier that goes around here. I don't see him. But your other treasure chest is right under this tree, all the way to the back. There's no trees really close to it, so just try and find that tree in between the two big rocks, and you should find it easy enough. And then we just make our way out again. So we just spawned out into this little area with our war machine again. We're going to hug this corner and take a right, and then we're going to go into the Styx Lord outpost. So we're going to come out here and just hug this corner and go get some more maps. Just like before, there's going to be enemies on all sides, so you want to immediately mount up. Watch this courier guy. He can attack you, but I'm just going to blaze right by him. Alright. We come straight up here. If you do die, there's always campfires close by, and it'll spawn you there. But this one is pretty easy, actually. we're going to come right down here and jump onto this rock here. And then we're going to kind of hug this up here. And just bunny hop. And you can do it off your mount if it's easier for you. You can see there's enemies down there, but they're going to be far enough away that you don't interact with them. But here's your first one in this area. Alright. Now that we've got that, I'm back on my mount. And I'll just avoid those enemies by coming down this side. And when we come back up, we'll be able to avoid them going up the ramp there. And we just follow this path. This is a little scaffolding thing that I reference. And then I also reference this big, Lion King looking rock. And then we see enemies right here. If nobody else is in here, and there normally isn't, then you can use them as a little area. But we're going to avoid them and go to the right. And here is the next treasure in this area. Alright, and the last one, we came over here. I got the little thievery kit. Here was this one. We're going to just hug this and jump off. Kind of stay to the left so you can avoid those guys as well. Avoid the hellhound. And we're going to come right up this ramp, right to that little stack of bones there. And boom, here is the third and final one in this area. Okay, 8 locations down, 2 to go. Alright, back out in our war machine. We just left this whole area here. Now we're going to hang a right and follow this path down and go into here last. Alright, this is known as the Stygian docks. You can always hover over these little X's and it's saying number 29. You can scroll down and check that if that's not something you're familiar with on your map. So in the Stygian docks, we have our last two. Like before, mount up. Here's our little campfire here. Our pile of bloody bones, I guess. But that's where we would spawn if we die. And the first one is really close. So right out of the gate, come right around this corner. There is a little courier here sometimes. But right here is our first one. There's the courier to our left. Let's see if we can't dig these up before he gets to us. Alright, so we were far enough away to avoid him. There's another little demon courier that wanders around sometimes. But we're going to go around this way, come up the ramp. The courier walks down this path, so if you're afraid of just blazing by him, you can come up this way and sort of pause and sort of jump down when you're ready. And then you're going to come straight over here. Don't worry, these guys won't aggro to you. You're going to come right here. And we're trying to drop down right around here. Because if you try to go the long way, these are some of the toughest enemies that I have faced myself, other than bosses. So you take quite a lot of damage. And if you don't make it, don't worry. You can see it glowing up there. And right now, see that big white demon? We want to get up here to try to avoid him, if possible. Round 2. Alright, that's good enough. And up here, you're going to be far enough away from any of the patrolling enemies. But you're going to want to jump until you can get up here. and get this treasure. So that's how you find them. And when you're done, you just come over here. You have to be off your mount to have this thing work, but you press jump while pressing forward. Ugh. It's a little tricky, but that's how you get back up to the high level. And then you can just follow this path. There's nothing that patrols this area that I'm aware of. And you go back up that ramp. That's where you jumped off initially.
Bruh.
With that, I hope you liked the video. See ya. What's up, Talis? I saw you, buddy. I saw you, buddy. Oh, you gonna boot me with the nose? I love you. That's my buddy. Yeah.